Hi there, welcome to the Alcohol Ink Art community. I'm Laurie Trumpet Williams, and in this demonstration that I'll be doing today, we're going to be creating alcohol ink prints on a gel plate. And we're focusing on because it's autumn, some autumn botanical prints, and we're going to do this in two different ways. We're going to first look at using stencils that are botanical shapes on the gel plate, and then we're going to actually use some foliage from my yard that I went out and grabbed some leaves, and we did some botanical prints that way. And this presentation is going to feature both of those. And I did a lot of these, just so you know. There's a lot of trial and error involved when you're working on the gel plate. Sometimes you don't always know what you're going to get until you pull that print, and it's actually a dopamine hit every single time. Very exciting, very fun. If you've never done it, you definitely need to get yourself a gel plate. Most of the time, gel plates are used with acrylic paint, but it can also be used with alcohol ink and other mediums, and today's video focuses on using alcohol ink on the gel plate. And for those of you who might not know what a gel plate is, basically a gel plate, this is the one I used for this project, and it is a gelatin plate that you can put a medium down, let it dry, manipulate it, put marks in it, do whatever you want, and then you use another wet medium to pull it up. That's it, simply put. These are usually very clear. This is one I have dedicated to alcohol inks because alcohol inks stain it. It still works great, but I just know that it's stained. My acrylic ones that I use are more clear, and they also age a little bit and stain a little bit as you use them over time. And the more you use them, the better they seem to get. And I just basically put something on top of it so that it can absorb the moisture, not the moisture, but the oils that are in the plate, and protect it. So that's what it looks like. The other thing about using the gel plate with alcohol ink that really kind of makes it a little bit of an advantage is that you do not have to use a non-porous surface. So I can use, in this demonstration, I use cardstock and watercolor paper to pull these prints. And these are just some of the few that we got that we're going to do in the demo. And I'm going to dive in and show you exactly how we do it. Okay, so I just want to also say that I've sped the video up throughout to double speed, just so that you don't get bored, because this process does take a little bit longer, but it's fun, and I want to be able to show you all the ins and outs. So as you can see here, I have a stencil that I've put on my plate. The stencil kind of suctions into the plate, and the alcohol ink colors that I'm using, I'm starting with a Curant here. Curant's like a deep brownish red. It's actually a really pretty color, and I'm coming in with some Everglades to give it some green. I'm going to use some sunshine yellow. I'll use some sunset orange, and just sprinkle those colors around the holes within the stencil. Couple things to note is you notice that the alcohol ink is not flowing and spreading, and that's because it's basically stopped by the gel plate. So I'm bringing it in with a piece of felt. Very careful not to like mix the colors, but I want to make sure they have full coverage on all of the open areas in the stencil. And oops, I missed one part there. Okay, got it. Now I'm letting this dry a little bit, and then I'm going to peel back the stencil. I'm lifting out some of that first, giving it a little more texture in some areas. So if you've ever played with felt and alcohol ink, or alcohol on alcohol ink, you know that you can come back in and add texture by dabbing in, and that's what I'm doing here. I'm waiting a little bit of time, and then I'm going to pull that stencil up. There we go. So you can see what's left on the plate there. Now notice these colors can seem off a little bit because they or on a stained plate, and alcohol inks are transparent, so the transparency kind of plays with you a little bit, but if you know what colors you have down, then you know what you got, sort of. So what I'm doing here is I'm adding a little bit of that Everglades, and I'm going to splatter that around on the plates in some of the white space that I have left. This is giving the ink a little more time to dry, because we want to make sure that it's completely dry before we add our medium and lift it up. So I'm cleaning the brush off here because I want to use a different color, and I'm using the same brush. I think I'm going to come in with, I think it's a sunset orange here that I want to use. Yeah. And then I sprinkle that on. And again, you don't really see it a whole lot on the video, but when you pull it, you'll definitely see all of that splatter. Okay, so we're going to give that a little bit of time to dry. I'm going to clean up some areas a little bit with a damp brush, just like you would on lifting on regular non-porous paper. Just kind of cleaning up around the edges of those leaves a little bit. I don't want to do too much because I want to keep it organic, but also I want it to make sure that you can tell what the leaf is when we pull the print. And in some of the areas, the ink did seep underneath the stencil a little bit. So to pull this print after everything's dry, I'm taking my brayer, and a brayer is like a roller, if you're not familiar with that or you hadn't used gel plate before. And I roll that gel medium across the plate, and what that does is it causes that ink to lift up off the plate. So I put down a piece of cardstock. This is just regular white cardstock, not a non-porous paper like we're used to using with alcohol inks, and I let it sit there and dry, and then I pull it up to see my print. And this is what the end result is, which I think looks fabulous. It's very abstracty and inky, and when you put a frame around it, it looks like a work of art. So the second one that I'm going to do here is also a stencil, but this time I'm taking a different type of leaf stencil. Now, I just got these stencils from Amazon, and I don't even remember the link or something. I'll look it up and paste a link in the description if you would like. But these are just some basic botanical leaves. They're on a, I think, 6x6. The plate size that I'm using for these videos, I should have mentioned, is a 5x7 gel plate. Gel plates come in a bunch of different sizes, but this particular one is a 5x7, and I use it a lot of times when I'm filming and demonstrating because it fits on the camera really nice. When I use the bigger ones, I have to push the camera way back, and it, in my opinion, the experience isn't as good for video, but I do like working on the larger plate because obviously you get larger prints. Okay, so we're going to come in with some sunshine yellow, and just drip that around. Same process as before. We're just dripping it around randomly, and take the Everglades, put that in. And finally a little bit of ember. That ember is a bright red orange color. And I notice I only put just a little bit in there because it can be overpowering. And then I take a clean piece of felt and I'm just dabbing up some of that ink, cleaning it off on the paper towel a little bit. There is a lot of ink on the plate right at the moment. So I have to really dry some of this. It's like a little too inky, to be honest with you. Still using that felt, coming back and forth with my blower. At least get it mostly dry, enough to where I can lift that stencil and still have the plate, still have it in place on the plate, and then allow it to finish drying after that. Now I'm lifting, and you can see it was so wet. So I guess my recommendation would be, if you're coming back and you're doing this, is not to put too much ink down, or if you do, lift it a little more than I did. But I'm going to come in here with a damp brush and just kind of clean up different sections that where the ink flowed in underneath that stencil. I'm having, as you can see, I'm having a little bit of a hard time here, kind of figuring out where that stencil was, because I wiped out a little too much in some areas. All right, and you know, because these are not perfect, I'm gonna do my little splatter technique, because I think it adds a lot. That ember really shows up on the plate, you can tell. So I used it, and a little bit of the Everglades here too. Give it some random splatters. And while it's drying, I'm going to put my caps back on like I always do, otherwise I will mess it up. And so this time too, I have my lollipop fan. This guy is my friend whenever I'm doing gel printing, because especially if I'm working for acrylics, while they dry pretty fast, they don't dry as fast as alcohol inks, and so I find myself using that fan all the time. And then to make this pull, I am using a gloss medium. So I'm using a gloss medium because it dries clear and it doesn't dilute or mute the inks. So you could do this where you pull it using like a white acrylic paint, or maybe a cream color acrylic paint. Actually, I do that a lot, but with the alcohol inks, I tend to want to pull with a clear medium, like a gel medium or a gloss medium. That's going to give me a more vibrant print. And there you go. You can see that this one turned out pretty nice. So the next ones I want to try are going to be a little bit different. And we're going to actually use leaves to create a relief. Okay, so I'm going to come in and put ink directly on the plate. I'm starting out with some Everglades, and I'm just sprinkling it around. And then the next one is Sunshine Yellow. Again, just wetting my plate, adding ink randomly. This one's Ember. And then I'm just take my leaves and just press it right into the ink. And then I'm going to pick up the excess with some wax paper. This is just kind of throwaway paper that I have on the side. And then I'm going to press those impressions of those leaves into the ink as it dries. You can see there I lifted to see what was going on underneath, and adding some more of this wax paper on top and pressing. This is leaving, you know, some of the ink behind, but it's also creating a contrast between where my leaf prints are and the plate. And then I'm peeling the leaves away. Testing over here, actually, if I can get a print off of them onto the paper. It didn't work so well. But now I'm just going to let this dry, and then I'll come in and pull a print. Okay, using gloss medium, I put just a dab onto the plate, take my brayer and roll it over. What I'm doing here is making sure I have full coverage on the plate with that gloss medium, and then using more cardstock, and I'm applying light pressure across the whole thing. Just make sure I have contact across the entire piece of paper there, and then I pull my print. And so this is the first one. And it's pretty abstracty, but kind of cool. and I thought, well, maybe let's try another one. Okay, so same process, adding in some Everglades, and then I'm going to come in this time with Ember. And some Sunshine Yellow. And then I'm place my leaves. This time, if you notice, a little bit different here. I put the leaves, the back side down, because I thought that the veins of the leaves and stuff, they seem to be more prominent on the back side. So I decided to try that one to make this one a little bit different. Okay, so I'm ready to lift up the leaves here, and honestly, I wish I'd let it dry longer. I think I would have gotten a better result. But at any rate, I got some really neat texture in there, leaf-shaped, abstract texture, so that's really good. So I'm waiting a couple of seconds here to let it dry, using my fan. That really does help dry it quicker. You can also, if it's not too fluidy, you can also use the blower, the Tim Holtz squeeze blower, to help dry it. Okay, so now we're ready to make the pool. I'm gonna use the gloss medium again for this. And in case you didn't hear me earlier, I use the gloss medium because it dries clear and it allows me to maintain the vibrancy of the inks. As you know, they're transparent. If you put a color down behind it, even a white color, it mutes the alcohol inks. So you can try that if you want. It gives you a totally different effect, but also very cool. Okay, and here is our final print, which is another very cool abstract autumn leaf print. Thank you for watching. I thought before we left I would show you a few more prints that we did during this session that didn't make the cut. So this was one where I did the Botanical and I used some arborvitae fern-like textures to add in there. I thought that came up pretty cool. Little busy, and so I didn't end up using that one for the demonstration. This was another where I actually did it on watercolor paper, and the pool itself is done with bleached titanium rather than the gloss medium. And the gloss medium again dries clear, so the inks are more vibrant, like in this one, versus when you pull it with the bleached titanium, the inks get muted because, again, alcohol inks are transparent. And so when you layer them over a color, they're going to blend with whatever that color is. But this effect came out pretty cool, and this would make a really nice art piece. The beauty of these are that you can use these prints as artwork. You can use them as backgrounds. You can make cards out of them. So many different things. And the ones that come out just you can use those in collage, or you can also use them in background. So here are a couple that I was not very happy with, but you can see that I could still use them in other elements of my art.
Come learn, create, and share with us. It's a life-changing opportunity. Excite.